Hello everyone, this is Mike from Dimensional Walking. And today the title of my video is Aliens, UFOs, and the Galileo Project and AV. Okay, so that's a pretty big title there. So anyways, there's a lot of very serious scientists that have been, looking for signs of alien life. Most of them, at least up to this point, have been looking at far distances from Earth, way, way far in different galaxies, other sides of the universe, etc. That's the SETI programs, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. But there's another group now that has surfaced, and it's led by a famous Harvard physicist, scientist named A.V. Loeb, okay? And he's looking nearby. He's looking at our airspace. He's looking for on the ground on Earth for signs. So he's looking at, again, near space or on the ground or even in the water, under the water, under the oceans. So, and his project is the Galileo Project. It's, I believe it's about 2 years old, and it's steadily building a kind of a network around the Earth of sensors and some telescopes to monitor the atmosphere, to kind of detect as soon as possible, an alien ship or something that is, floating around that looks suspicious, etc. And AV is organizing expeditions to recover pieces of the alien spacecraft, also that have already crashed on Earth, which is very different than anybody else I've ever heard of. Any other scientist from a university, especially a university as elite or amazing as Harvard is, with the brain power it has there. So Galileo's project is looking for and they have a term for it. They're looking for the astroarchaeological artifacts. And it's a mouthful, but it's pretty interesting. It pretty much tells what they're looking for, I would say. And this would really look at, potentially active extraterrestrial equipment that may be in or near Earth. So let's just go back to SETI. Of course, SETI is basically is sending out signals out to other parts of the universe. And it's signaling, I guess, that we are here. It's waving a big flag, I guess, and saying we are here. Signal us back if you exist, etc. But, there is a bit of a danger there to signal somebody across the universe, because they'll probably pick it up and they'll say, okay, maybe let's go see who these beings are. Maybe they're good, and maybe these beings are good beings, but maybe they're not. So I think there should be a little bit of caution out there when we're just throwing out information that we're here, etc. So anyways, that's SETI, basically, okay? I mean, I think there's some good things there. I've always criticized them because me being a researcher, knowing what I know about aliens and UFOs on Earth, I always thought it was kind of a big waste of time because there's plenty of things to study here. Now, this group, the Galileo Project, is really kind of getting it. There's enough stuff here on Earth to really talk about when it comes to aliens and UFOs. Okay? So, anyway, so there's been all these little bits and pieces that have been picked up, that AV has picked up from old meteorites and different particles and different stones that they really can't identify. And I'll talk a little bit more about those in a minute. So as we all know, things are always falling to Earth. They could be satellites, they could be meteorites, they could be something else. So, anyways, one of the things that he became interested in, and one of the reasons he kind of got into this, was that in 2014, there was this 1.5 foot wide object that was detected by the U.S. military that was traveling around Papua New Guinea. And the interesting thing about it is It was the speed in which it was moving. It indicated that this was probably not a meteorite. It indicated it had to be something else because the speed was really, really fast. So it is like it came from another solar system, possibly. It was how their calculation went. So that kind of got A.V. Loeb interested in this because this was one of the more fascinating detections that were made. And in this particular case, was made by the U.S. military. So anyways, there was some other strange kind of these meteorites that have come down that seem to have very different properties than a normal one. A lot of times, sometimes there has been ones, and there's been some in in Arizona and in India in the 80s, and one of them is 1852 that was found, and there was another one in Arizona in 1850 that was also found. And when they found them, of course, at that time they weren't able to analyze them because it was in the 1800s. But now they're analyzing them and they're finding some exotic metals that they've never found before in other meteorites that they've found when they analyzed them. There's some really strange, and I won't even try to pronounce them because I've never seen them before. But they're very strange metals that they're saying, what's going on here? Raised a big flag, and some of the scientists actually claim that these were artificially created minerals. So that was an interesting thing, and that got AV going again in this direction, that we need to look at things that are close by to Earth rather than looking, millions and billions of light years away. So, okay, so speed was a big thing. To determine if we can see something moving at a speed that is much faster than a normal meteorite or meteor, then that's a key. That's a key to say, hey, pay attention. Something odd is going on here. So there was also particle. Obviously, the Earth being made up primarily of the oceans and much less of land. There's a lot of opportunity for a lot of these meteorites and these stones or whatever to fall into the ocean. So he's also interested in that, getting vehicles to be able to go down into the ocean and look for these big rocks or whatever that look suspicious that have fallen into the ocean and people have seen, or they were picked up on radar or something else. So that's one of the other future projects that he's looking to do. So one of the other things he's speculating on, and I think he's absolutely right on this one, is that it's very possible that a lot of these things that are coming towards us, probes of some sort, are probably controlled not by some entity beings, okay? They're probably controlled by AI, okay? The reason he says that is because he feels that going these tremendous light years away at tremendous speeds, an alien type being, at least in his estimation, probably could not survive it, and they would probably be sending it like a AI type entity to drive or control these probes that are coming to us. So anyways, another one of these really interesting things, and most everybody's heard about this one, but I want to mention it, was back in, I'm trying to get the date, this was October 2017. Apparently there was a telescope was doing a survey of the sky, one of the bigger telescopes, and came across this object that was moving towards Earth, or in the direction of Earth. It was about 3,000 feet wide. It was long, I think, how did they describe it? It was long, shiny, it was oblong, it was shiny, and it was moving at 16 miles per second, which is pretty damn fast. And it zoomed into the solar system and past the sun, and then it was noticed by astronomers, and then they named it a Hawaiian word for scout, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I'm sure there's people out there who know exactly how to pronounce it. It starts with an O. It's Oumuamua, okay? I'm not going to try it, okay? So, but it does mean scout, and that's what these scientists, some of these scientists were saying anyways, that to them it looks quite strange. And of course it flew by, or I don't know how close it got to the Earth, but we were able to see it with telescopes, and it was pretty an amazing event. Okay? So, and one of the reasons that AV was very interested in is because of a couple things. The speed, the shape, to him was a sign that it possibly was an alien craft of some sort. Okay, and this is kind of the first time I've ever heard this, where scientists have actually said there's a probability this was an alien craft. It may have been not in really control. It may be just flying through our solar system, taking pictures, or just doing some data as it's flying through. Nobody knew, and nobody will probably know, because I doubt very much it's coming back at all. Okay. So, anyways, so AV was very interested in this one. This really got him excited. Really got him excited. So that was probably another reason why he jumped into this field, because this has been since about 2000 when this Galileo project got started up. So anything before that really got him juiced up. So the Hawaiian Scout definitely did it for him. So anyways, one of the things that he said that we have to do is we have to be able to see these probes, or these, whatever it is, alien ships coming at a long distance, so we can prepare ourselves to get in a ship or intercept them, okay? Or at least be able to observe them with a lot of equipment as they pass through. And I absolutely agree with him. So he said they need more funding. Maybe the government will give it to them to do a large telescope network around the Earth. Because right now I think he's kind of implying that his telescopes, or a network that he has, is not good enough to do what he needs to do, is what he says he needs to do. So let me say this. I personally have reached out to AV. And what I wanted to tell him was, don't miss the opportunity to talk to a guy named Clifford Stone. Okay? Clifford, I met Clifford several years ago. I went down and interviewed him in Roswell, New Mexico twice. And I've also, and had lunch with him. I also had him at my group in Albuquerque, New Mexico, when I ran the UFO Paranormal Forum there. And he was there twice. He's a great guy, really enjoyed it. He was an ex-military guy. His whole job, for the most part, part of his interesting career was recovery of UFO crashes. Okay, he told me that he knew of and participated in at least 20 of them. Now, I don't know if he participated in recovery of 20 ships or crashed UFOs, but he said he's aware of at least 20 or more of them around the Earth. And this was during a period of time that he was in the military. It was several years. Yeah, it was a good part of his career with the military, and I believe he retired from the military too. So I reached out to AV, and I haven't got any answers yet. But I said this is really important for you to get a hold of him. If you haven't already, maybe he has. It was probably at a level, if he did get a hold of him, it makes sense that he isn't out there telling everybody necessarily about his conversation with people that have in the military. And who knows, Clifford Stone may have said, hey, I'll talk to you, but please don't tell anybody else about it. You know, maybe Clifford Stone didn't want me to tell, but Clifford Stone is pretty public. He's written some books. You know, he's given a lot of lectures. I'm sure most of you that are watching this know who I'm talking about. I don't think this is any new news anywheres. But anyways, I reached out to AV, sent an email. I'm hoping to get some kind of reply back. I probably won't give up until I get some kind of reply back from him. So, with that said, let's see what else I have. I don't want to miss anything. So I also suggested that they, the Galileo project, also take a look. I think it's really important to really get all the pieces to this crazy puzzle. You need to look at people that have been abducted. You know, there's millions of people. I mean, I know people don't think there's millions. There's millions of people out on Earth right now that have been abducted and have experiences with aliens. There's no doubt in my mind. You know, I've been doing this a long time, and I've interviewed, without even trying, probably 1,500 people that I feel fairly confident about had some type of encounter with aliens. Okay? Now, again, I always say there was more that I may have interviewed. There's 1,500 I feel pretty comfortable about. There's actually more. A lot, and those particular people I've just disregarded and not interested in their information because I think it's bogus. So anyways, I suggest that they look at those. Do not look at them. Bring some of those people aboard and let them tell you, because it isn't just, it's people from all walks of life, military people, people in the law enforcement area, pilots, executives, and for everybody across the board. So I think it's really important to at least look at it and try to take a serious look, because I think they're going to find out some really interesting things that he could use to put this crazy puzzle together. And I do applaud him for doing what he's doing, because it's different. It's coming from a very strong institution, Harvard University. So I think it's really, really great. And again, because I'm glad they're looking close by, because aliens have been here. They've been here for a very, very long time. So I will update you on any responses I get from AV in the future, from him and the Galileo project. So anyways, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. We need your subscriptions. We need your views. We need your comments. Comment to us, please. If you want to send us a private email, it's dimensionalwalking@gmail.com. And hey, that's about it. We'll see you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.